I asked another girl out, and she said, Ernie, I just don't respect what you do for a living. It was my coworker. I went out with this other girl, and I said, and she goes, I like a funny guy who's athletic. Yet when I climbed through her second story bedroom window wearing a clown suit, she called the cops. So I recently lost 40 pounds, which is $62.40 in American currency. And thanks to the dumbass Brits leaving the European Union going up. And that one person gets political humor. I appreciate that. People ask me, like, how'd you lose weight? I'm like, it's very easy. You just make a list of everything that you do that's fun and stop doing all of it. And I'll never make fun of, me more than anybody, I'm still getting there weight-wise. I will never ever make fun of somebody who's fat or trying to lose weight or whatever, because I can appreciate the struggle. I would never ever make fun of anybody, except for my dad's wife. Yeah. Her and I haven't spoken for 15 years, mainly because I don't speak hippopotamus. Yeah. She's a redhead and she looks like the Wendy's girl, which is fitting because she's so fat, her blood type is chocolate frosty. Yeah, she looks like the Wendy's girl. She's a ginger, so she has no soul, and pretty soon, thanks to her diabetes, no left foot. And that group of jokes is called Never Make Fun of Your Stepkid. So, I met this other girl last week and she goes, Ernie, I got a boyfriend. I'm like, oh cool, I got a math test. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, I thought we were just naming all things we could cheat on. Yeah, I've actually been so unlucky lately. I get shot down by women I'm not even hitting on. I was at the grocery store the other day getting my groceries, and the cashier said to me, I just want to be friends. I was in the automatic checkout machine. So, my only hidden talent is I can name all 44 presidents in sequential order, which explains why I haven't gotten laid in 7 years. I read a study that said iPhone users have the most sex, so I bought one. Yeah, now it's in 9th place. I like to travel, and one of my friends goes, Ernie, the reason you travel so much is that you're 36 years old without any hope for having a girlfriend in the near future. My best friend Greg said, Ernie, don't listen to them. They're just bitter and envious and right. Yeah. I recently bought a car. When I bought my car, I picked out my car and the dealer said to me, he goes, Ernie, this car is your Huckleberry. Now, I had no idea what Huckleberry meant, so I looked it up. Huckleberry means pallbearer. I apparently bought the car I'm going to die in. Which I don't think is true because I did not buy a Chevy. Let me try that again. Which I don't find is true because I did not buy a Ford. There we go. A lot of Ford car owners here. I don't know who I'm voting for yet, but I can tell you that Donald Trump's full of shit, and here's why. He said the other day, the first day on the job, he's going to repeal Obamacare. And he's full of shit, and here's why. Have you ever had a first day on the job? You got to go to orientation, you got to fill out paperwork, you got to meet all your co-workers. You're not going to have time to do that. So, I went to a country music bar for the first time last week, and that's an interesting place because a country music bar is the only place that you can get cockblocked by a man wearing a DeWalt power drill shirt. I got cockblocked by a guy wearing a Dale Earnhardt hat. It was crazy. Because much like his final night, mine also crashed and burned. All right, my name is Ernie Green. Thank you very much. Coming on stage right now is one of my closest friends in the comedy industry. She's been on Laugh 4 times. She's one of the funny people, so make sure you laugh for her. Give it up for Kirsten Albert!
Thank you. What's up, guys? It's hard doing comedy sometimes because you run into some bookers who are really strict. And they're like, we only book clean comics here, we do clean comedy. Are you a clean comic? And I'm like, yes, I'm a clean comic. Before I perform, I always douche my beaver. I'm really clean. Things haven't been going so great for me lately. I've been trying to generate some good karma by paying it forward. So like, instead of putting money in people's expired parking meters, I just wait and take the parking tickets off their cars. But I do like helping people. Like I give money to the homeless, but only to women, because I don't have to pay them as much. I've always been unusual. Like when I was a kid, I used to get in trouble for sneaking up on my roof and shitting on birds. Karma's a bitch. My boyfriend, he is a huge Star Wars nerd. He loves Star Wars. So I decided tonight I'm going to surprise him with some sexy role playing. It's going to be, Princess Leia from the waist up and Chewbacca from the waist down. It's going to be really hot. We had a really good Valentine's Day this year because it was the first year that I wasn't alone because I settled. So now I'm just waiting for death. His death. No, he's in his 40s, so he should be dead any day now. I felt alone when he was teabagging me, and I'm not going to tell him that. Any day now. And even though he's older, he's very distinguished. He's got that handsome salt and pepper look in his pubes. Which I know that's gross, but it's better than working. Rather give jobs than have them. But I've been trying to motivate him to exercise more, lately because he's so fat. But he's like the healthy kind of fat, He's like a big fat avocado. So I made a deal with him, and I was like, all right, every time you go for a run, I'll let you make love to me. And it's working. He's losing weight, but now he's too exhausted to make love to me. So we both win. I don't always have sex with him, but when I do, I prefer 15 Dos Equis. When I was single, one of my favorite pickup lines used to be, hey, if you buy me a beer, I'll show you a boob. And they'd be like, no. I'd be like, all right, if you let me have a sip of your beer, I'll show you a boob. And they'd be like, no. Like, all right, but you owe me one. Rain check. I feel like there's a lot of pressure for women to have to look good when we go and work out. Like the other day I was in yoga class, and all the girls were staring at me and judging me because my hairy bikini line was creeping out of my short shorts. And by short shorts, I mean capris. Which, they're just jealous because I have a built-in yoga mat. But whatever. My favorite pose is downward-facing Sasquatch muff. I'd show you guys pictures, but they always come out blurry. I'm a really good mom. I love my kids enough never to have any. No, but I do want to get pregnant one day. Like, I think it sounds fun, having some creature inside me eating all my food like some douchey roommate. I think the best part about pregnancy would be telling people my water broke every time I got drunk and pissed my pants. But I don't know, me and my boyfriend, we're talking about, getting married and having a baby, because we really want to stop fighting so much. So. We fight a lot, we love each other, but we fight a lot. Like the other day, he told me I was suffocating him, and that was the last thing he said. Like being a parent, I don't know if I could do it. You have to make such critical choices. Like in California, where I live, parents can opt out of certain vaccinations for their kids. Like I know who these types of parents are. Like, everything's organic, from their kale all the way to their kush. you know? And like, honestly, I used to be the same way. Like a year ago, I would have chosen not to do it because I was like, you know, I want my kids to be able to build their own immune systems. Then I realized, oh, like they can't do that, you know, if they're dead. But like another reason why I was against it is because they used to put mercury in the vaccines, and they tell you it's just a little bit, it won't hurt your kids. And then they tell you, you know, if you're pregnant and you eat a tuna fish sandwich, your kid's going to be born with flippers and a blowhole. So, which one is it? But the problem is, by not vaccinating these kids, these old diseases are making a comeback. That's polio logo. And like, I get it. Like, these parents, they're scared because they think these vaccines cause autism. Do you know how awesome that would be if that were true? You get a flu shot, and then all of a sudden, you never have to use a calculator. Just 20% tips, breeze. Well, like this whole scare is because of Jenny McCarthy. Like she thinks she's a doctor just because she's had a couple of boob jobs. The only thing wrong with Jenny McCarthy's kid is that his mom is Jenny McCarthy. The real situation is not that her son's autistic, it's that he's really smart and she's really dumb, and every time she talks it's so unbearable he just starts banging his head. I've always struggled with having a realistic body image. Like I always wanted a body like Barbie. So I cut my nipples off and sewed my pussy shut. Now I'm beautiful. I'm so beautiful. How you wear your makeup says a lot about you. Like, the first time I ever wore makeup, I was in 6th grade. I snuck into my mom's room and I tried on her mascara and I thought I looked like a princess, you know. When she caught me, she goes, "You're not ready for this. You think you look grown up, but you don't." I started to cry and my mascara smeared down my cheeks and she goes, "Now you look like a woman." Baby's growing up. But growing up I had severe acne, like it was really bad. Like, you guys know what it's like to be walking home from school and some dude drives by in a creepy van and doesn't even consider you. Like, even when I went into Subway, Jared would give me one of these. I don't know why Subway didn't do a background check on that scumbag, because anybody who walks around bragging about how much extra room he has in his pants should be considered a little suspicious. But I was really smart with that stuff. Like, I never took candy from strangers, you know, unless it was Halloween and I was dressed up like a slut. I was fine about that. But, like, parents are always making kids do things they don't want to do. Like, when I was little, my mom forced me to take piano lessons, and I hated it. And I prayed to God every night that I wouldn't have to take piano lessons. And then we found out my teacher got busted for being a pedophile. Lord works in mysterious ways. I'm a believer. I'll pray for you all tonight. But that's not the creepiest part about that story. He used to sell my mom Beanie Babies. And she bought like a couple hundred from him. And every Christmas, she still decorates our house with them. And I don't know, there's just something about Beanie Babies previously owned by a pedophile that just gets you in the Christmas spirit, you know? Just brings everybody in. But, you know, it's just luck. Like, we all have our close call stories with creeps. Like, when I was 13, I was mildly groped. And, like, I don't blame all men for stuff like this. I just think there's a few of you out there who give all the other uncles a bad name. But when it happened, I was 13, flying alone for the first time. Nothing bad happens, you can relax. Or if you're a pedophile, you won't be getting a boner. But I apologize to pedophiles. So a few hours into the flight, I wake up to the guy next to me rubbing my leg, and when I look over at him, he's sleeping, right? Or as Cosby likes to call it, in the mood. And I was like freaking out in my head about what to do. I was like, I could hit him. And I know I don't look tough, but I can pretty much beat the crap out of any guy who won't hit me back. I haven't met one yet, but he's out there. And he's a real gentleman, and I will find him and beat the living shit out of him. Fucking pussy. Anyways, so I turned to him and I was like, "Hey, can you stop touching me?" So he turns to me and he whispers in my ear with a lisp, "Thorium hath interpreted your signal." And my first thought was, oh my God, he's gay and thinks I'm a boy. And I was like, dude, I'll do this right here, right now. All you gotta do is say, "Sally sells seashells by the seashore." that's my one rule. But honestly, no, his lisp is what saved me, because when he tried to seduce me, it just sounded like a rape whistle. I worked as a waitress in a strip club once. For me, stripping wasn't really an option, because the only curves I have are from scoliosis. Plus, I'm cool with my dad. But if you strip, you do it to support a kid or get a degree, and those things are stupid. I don't consider myself sexy. I'm cute and like a prepubescent, I can keep a secret sort of way. But when I went in to apply for the waitressing job, the manager was like, yeah, we're actually interviewing people tomorrow, so when you come back in, just make sure you look camera ready. It's like, okay, camera ready, like just from the neck up. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, can I have grass in a forest, or do I need to pave paradise and put up a parking lot? You know what I'm saying? No, I don't know what you're saying. I was like, can I save the rainforest? Do I need to endanger my species? You know what I mean? She's like, no, I don't know what you mean. Like, can I let the Indians keep their land? Do I need to give them some smallpox? You know what I'm saying? No, I don't know what you're saying. I was like, never mind, I'll shave. So I go back in for the interview, and it wasn't going that great, because most of the time you want to appear as intelligent as possible. But not when the questions they're asking you don't call for that, right? So we get to the end of the interview, and she's like, okay, Kirsten, last question. If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why? And I was like, well, I would be a monkey, because they share 98% of our DNA, and they're the closest animal to human intelligence, so they probably do the best waitressing job. She's like, what? I'm like, also, because they always groom each other, so they always look camera ready. She's like, that's brilliant. You're hired. But my job there, it only lasted a week. She phoned me in her office. She was like, look, it's not working out. We gotta let you go. You never smile. We gotta let you go. You never smile. And I was like, I'm sorry. I have a neurological disorder where I can only smile when I'm happy. But it wasn't a good fit, Like the other girls, the other waitresses, they made their, tips by strutting their stuff. And I don't know if I don't have much stuff to strut. But, like when I try to stick my chest out, anything I have just disperses evenly, and my torso just becomes round and smooth, and it looks like a dolphin's back. You know what sucks is when a chunky 10-year-old boy has a nicer set of tits than you. And he just sits around playing video games, eating his bowl of cereal, squeezing his tit milk in his Lucky Charms. Just living it up. Just taking those babies for granted. Has this ever happened to anyone? Has this ever happened where your boyfriend's belly fat squishes your glasses in your face? You're trying to blow him. And all I can think is, why did I tell him I was on my period? This sucks. You guys are fun. I'm about to get out of here. But the first time I was ever fingered, save the best for last. First time I was ever fingered, it was by a girl in a game of Truth or Dare. Yeah, she would have done it anyways because she was my gynecologist, but daring her made me feel dirty. I was like, I dare you to give me the HPV vaccination. That tack doesn't work, Tony. Growing up, my parents never gave me the sex talk, so I had to teach myself by watching Animal Planet. And one of the first things I learned was when a female praying mantis is finished mating, she bites off the male's head. Needless to say, my first blowjob was a disaster. You guys had a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Enjoy your headliner tonight.
Angela, keep it together. So here's the other. You guys have fun? You have a good time? A couple things coming up. We're taking our usual summer break. We will be back here August 5th with a show called Class Clowns. It's the show that is taking people all the way from the very first show to national television. You want to check that out August 5th. August 12th, we're having a special show here called the Tony Visick Birthday Bash, when I will turn 30 times 2 plus 1. So, if I make it to then, I expect you to make it out here August 12th for the Tony Visick Birthday Bash. Many of the same people you saw tonight will be up here in a different order, so it'll seem like a different show. So, that's our trick. It's always the same. No, it's a different show. It's the same people, but it's different. So they'll tell tonight. They only told every other joke. They'll be telling the other jokes that night. So I would look forward to that. I know math is hard on a Friday. All right, are you guys ready for your headliner? Please fill out your comment cards and slips of paper on the table so that we can stay in touch with you and let you know about some of the other great things we're doing here and around town. Always remember to go to comedy. And by the way, this show tonight is being broadcast live on ComedySchoolsRadio.com. When you get home tonight, you can download it and listen to it again. You can go, as if I don't have enough PTSD for what I heard. I want to hear that shit again. So you can listen to that anytime. And starting in the middle of August, we will be on. My wife and I actually do the radio show together. Shirley, let's give a hand to Shirley Low Bissig right there. We'll be doing a new show in mid-August on AM 1260 called Comedy Club in the Morning. We bring the comedy club to you. I'm already practicing my regular radio voice. So you'll be able to hear that. As a matter of fact, I want everybody right now to do me a favor. Right? I'm going to count to 3, and then I want everybody to go, I listen to AM 1260, and then we'll put it live on the air when we're on, okay? We're going to say it real loud. We're going to say, I listen to AM 1260 on 3. 1, 2, 3. I listen to AM 1260. I hope I got the station right. What is the first station? All right. All right. Are you ready for your headliner, ladies and gentlemen? He's going to put this whole show together for you tonight, and now he's going to come up and entertain you. How about a warm welcome, please, Mike Ramsey.
Ladies and sirs, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you. Cheers. Anyone drinking? Glad you guys made it up through all those protest lines out there. Instead of trying to pepper spray them to get them out of the way, why don't they throw some job applications at them? And it's been crazy times, all the violence, the protests, the shootings they had in Dallas. I miss the old times so much, I threw a kid in a gorilla exhibit. Were those the good old days when everyone thought they were zoologists? But actually in Dallas, they just threw a police benefit charity event. It was thrown by Tony Romo. So you know that was intercepted. But it's a good night tonight. Tonight is actually my 5-year anniversary of doing stand-up. I am not drinking. I used to drink out of a cup I got off of eBay. It was really cheap too because it had been used by 2 girls.
Really?
I started working out with a personal trainer. And they start out bragging like, I can put up 300 pounds on the bench. I'm like, congrats, I can put up 300 pounds on the scale. That first day of training, though, was hell. Guy had me grunting and moaning more than Helen Keller in a speech class. He's sitting there doing nothing. I'm running around dying. I'm like, I wanted this experience to be beneficial, not a Benghazi. True story. But I'm trying to be healthier. I'm proud of the fact I've never done drugs in my life. I've never even smoked weed. Hold your applause, please. In fact, the only joints I've ever rolled have been my ankles. But Microsoft just announced that they're getting in the marijuana business, which kind of surprised me because I thought it was a gateway drug.
Really?
This was 1995 or what it killed. Even though I don't smoke, I'm 100% of legalizing marijuana, though. And you know, some senators have admitted recently that they do smoke it, which I believe makes weed the only thing in the Senate that ever gets passed. Do the Gregory curtsy. The other day I was walking down the street and this girl starts winking at me. I'm like, nice. But as I go up and I'm saying hi to her, I'm like, oh, she's having a stroke. Oh, that was embarrassing. And Toys R Us has been asked to remove their Breaking Bad action figures because they come with guns and bags of meth. Walmart already removed them because the employees kept mistaking them for customers. I saw a shirt inside Walmart that had brown pride written on it, so I went up and asked if they had it in white. Of course they didn't. I'm not really a big fan of Walmart. I haven't been there since I saw a woman stealing tampons. In fact, I caught her red-handed. Hello, young man. Do you get anything I'm talking about? No? Perfect. In every show I do. Speaking of which, there's a new drug out that changes the flavor of semen. It's not really selling, though, because women find it a tough pill to swallow. A couple of years, you're going to think that's hilarious. On July 4th, a man died choking on a hot dog during a national hot dog eating competition. And that's a terrible way to go out, finishing dead last. Lance Armstrong said recently that he deserves to compete in the Tour de France again. I'm like, can you believe the ball on that guy? And if there wasn't enough going on right now in Florida, a 58-year-old man got arrested down there for having sex with an alligator. Cannot even make that up. I don't know what's worse, the fact that he was wearing Crocs or that he now has Gatorades. I know Kirsten mentioned our buddy from Subway, Jared. He's in for 15 years for child porn and paying to have sex with minors. Which he was upset about the sentence because he usually prefers something under 15 years. I didn't do it. I heard his pickup line was asking kids if they wanted Nickelodeon and chill. In a recent interview, Chris Brown said if he wasn't a singer and dancer, he'd like to be a blackjack dealer. Which makes sense considering he'd want a job where he'd keep hitting people until they decide to stay. I don't like beer. I used to be a poker dealer, but I got fired for sexual harassment. I thought it was kind of unfair. Apparently you're not supposed to tell a gay guy you can't beat a straight. Learn something new every day. That job really wasn't for me, though. I was walking by an ATM, and this guy's like, "Can you help me check my balance?" So I pushed him. You'll be shocked to know it's not the first time I've been fired for sexual harassment. Job before that, I got fired for telling a girl it looks like she lost weight. Ridiculous, right? It's the last time I compliment anyone leaving a Planned Parenthood. Oh, Bob Rocky asked me for a hanger there. Speaking of abortions, the Cleveland Cavs won an NBA title this year. Yeah, the celebration was cut short when everyone tragically realized that they still have to live in Cleveland. I tell you what, this whole season was fun to watch the Golden State Warriors. That is an exciting team to watch. In fact, every game I watched, I saw more threes get banged than at a Tucson prom. I told that joke before. This guy's like, I took my wife to Tucson prom. I looked at him, I'm like, you would be the three, sir. Anyone from Tucson tonight?
Shut up.
Oh, good times. I don't know if you guys have been to Chase Field this year, but they have a new item. It's a cheeseburger, but instead of buns, they replace it with pizza slices. So the fans are leading the league in runs this year. I was out in LA recently. I got to perform for one of my idols, Louis C.K. That was a huge deal. Until afterwards, when he told me, I reminded him of an unfunny Zach Galifianakis. I'm like, wow, F you, C.K. And the good news was, the plane ride back, I was on the same flight as Jack Nicholson. Bad news was, I got a little starstruck and started shouting out, "Hi, Jack!" Good times. Be honest, I did acting, and actors really annoy me, to be honest with you. They're a little bit crazy. This one actor I knew kept telling me, oh, working with kids and animals is the worst. And that really upset me, because he works in porn. One of the most embarrassing moments of my life is when my parents caught me watching hardcore midget porn over their shoulders. Interesting fact. Midget porn, if you rewind it, it looks like she's giving birth. I'll be honest with you, porn is not really for me. It's not my thing. Honestly, the most excited I get when watching porn is when they deliver the pizza. I'm like, yeah, why are they not opening it? Oh. It is the arrival family tour, so. I was driving around the other day and got hit by a transgender person. Now, even though he looked like a man, his driving identified him as a woman. I know, you're not, that's what the joke police say now. You're not supposed to make fun of transgender people. It's too sensitive a topic nowadays. And I met Caitlyn Jenner once out in LA. She was standing next to me at the urinal. And I wanted to ask her about that, but some other transgender came up and chased her away, and that's when I realized I love me some drag racing. And you know what I really don't like right now is all these old movies being remade into new, updated movies. Like, next summer they're coming out with a remake of Cocktail starring Bill Cosby. I mean, I'm going to go see it, I just don't like the remaking it. They're also going to do a new remake of You've Got Mail starring Hillary Clinton. It's called What Mail? Now, the movie I am excited that they're doing a bunch of new ones is Star Wars. I'm so glad we've got a bunch of Star Wars coming out. As long as they do not bring Hayden Christensen back. That guy was awful. There's been an actor that ruined a production that bad since John Wilkes Booth. You have no idea what I'm talking about. See, back in 1865, Tony was alive back then, fun fact. You know, when I was younger, they found my best friend hanging from a ceiling. And And I felt like it was my fault for a while because I guessed all the wrong letters. Oh, 2 hangman jokes. That's crazy. I went into a sex shop the other day. There was a shocker. And they were trying to sell me this Muslim sex figure, but they kicked me out because I kept calling it a blow-up doll. Apparently they're really popular. It had a rating of 9 out of 11. Too soon. So this is the part of the program where you're like, well, I bet his parents are so proud. And to be honest, when I was born, they were pretty disappointed. They were really hoping for a divorce. But when I was younger, my dad had me tested because he thought I was legit retarded. Well, let me tell you, you want to know what I got on that IQ test? Drool. But my dad once told me that one man's trash is another man's treasure, and then he sped away from the orphanage. I know he recently got in a big car wreck, and I'm trying to calm him down because he's screaming, I can't feel my legs. I'm like, calm down, it's because you lost your arms. Now, he used to be a really heavy drinker too. Now that he has no arms, really can't hold his liquor. He's a freaking character though. Came home one time, he's like, where's your mother at? I'm like, oh, she's using the ladies' room. So he went looking for her in the kitchen. Different era. Thank you. My mom was actually the one that gave me the talk on drugs. In fact, she had a really good line too. Then she snorted it. Love you, Mom. She loves the fact that every day I tell her new jokes, which is very easy because she has Alzheimer's. And that was about a month where I thought my stepdaughter had autism, but turns out I was in the wrong apartment. She hates when I call her stepdaughter. She really prefers just me, to call her the plaintiff. I know most everyone's family is crazy. Mine is really crazy. I mean, my uncle's a priest, and he left a huge mess at the Grand Canyon, right where he landed. Oh, that's terrible. But you know what? He's okay. Miracles do happen, because not even an hour after I prayed for him, he was dead. He used to get on me all the time. He always caught me listening to satanic music. And he's like, do you really think that would be a choice of music for Jesus? And I'm like, probably not. He's never been a fan of 9 Inch Nails. True story. But my nephew made me feel really old. I had to explain to him what a Blockbuster video was. He's a smart kid. He picked up on the whole rental, if you like it, you can own it process, which made it so much easier telling him he was adopted. But he entered his school was having some drawing contest, so he drew a picture of his teacher and he showed it to me, and I'm like, wow, this is fucking terrible. But he was really hoping to get recognized. He wanted to get his picture noticed, so to help the little guy out, I labeled it the Prophet Muhammad. Google it, it's really funny.
2 minutes.
I'm what most people would consider a grammar hammer, or grammar Nazi. No matter what's going on, I will correct people's grammar. Which explains why most of my relationships and sentences end on a period. Surprisingly enough, I was in a 6-year relationship with a great girl. And in fact, the first time we went out, she fell head over heels in love. I fell in love the first time she put her heels over her head. Good times. Every dad explained that one to you. Beginning of that relationship, there were so many nights where she would constantly scream my name because she had a horrible stutter. But you know, like most relationships, it hit a rocky period where towards the end, she was with one of her girlfriends, and the girlfriend's like, "Oh, my boyfriend is an angel." And she's like, "You are so lucky. Mine's still alive." But you know, come to find out, she was dealing with alcoholism and depression, and she never told me. She was a lot like Casey Anthony. She just likes to bury her problems. You guys are fun. But I'm getting back on the dating scene. Been dating around. I gotta tell you, dating today is tough. I went out with an Indian girl. Problem was, every time I took her out dancing, we got rained on. Casinos love that joke. Even our own Jonathan Gregory tried to hook me up with a girl. I gotta try this out, because he came up to me and he said, "She might get cold feet." That's my impression. And when I saw her, I'm like, I got the cold shoulder, and that's when I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, she's dead. That's been tough. I even tried to date a blind girl, but she said she wanted to see other people. It's tough, man. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the greatest catch. Like, the most enjoyment I get out of a 69 is the fact that somebody considers me a 6. And I dated this one girl that was a huge Game of Thrones fan. And to be honest, I had never seen that show. She figured that out too when she's telling me, "Oh, you have to see a dead White Walker." So I rented Fast and the Furious. Made myself laugh. That was the first girl I've ever went out with. That was Korean. And I don't know if this is bad, but I broke up with her because she didn't like my dog. I mean, according to her, don't get ahead of me. According to her, that dog gave her the worst stomach ache. But what I've discovered with dating that's the worst is when you like a girl a lot more than they like you. I was with this girl and I was telling her all these things I'd love to do to her. Her only response is, "Whatever. It's your money." Finally, I just had enough. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to try one of these blind dates. And I went up to the girl. I said, "Hey, are you Kim?" She goes, "Are you Mike?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm not Kim." You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for coming out.
Mike Ramsey, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, folks. We certainly enjoyed performing for you. Remember, our next show here is August 5th, but go to comedyschools.com or comedyschoolsradio.com to find out about all the fun stuff we're doing all over the city. Let's hear it again for all the comics we saw tonight.